Welcome to another episode of the Free Idea Podcast with this beautiful voice. Once again, here again. Today, I want to talk about energy levels and exploring them. Is energy a mindset, or is energy an actual thing of the body, or is it a combination? And I'm talking about the energy of a person, of a human, of how much he does at work, his personal life, exercising this and then that. There's people that have no energy in their bodies, and there's people that have an exaggerated amount of energy. And this came up. So I was talking to a friend about the differences in our energies. He has a pretty high energy. I have a much lower energy. And then I was thinking about people like David Goggins, who does crazy amount of stuff. So my friend does a lot of things in his life, a lot of different hobbies. Every day he works and goes and does things, events, etc. Saturdays, Sundays, this and that. He doesn't stop, right? He has energy. And then there's me, who I require a lot of rest. Um, a lot of rest, a whole lot more rest than I wish I needed it, but I do require a lot. I've never been a person with too much energy. I've always been a person that um is just relaxed. I always like to not do much. Maybe I'm burning too much every time I use my mind. Who knows? But then there's people out there who are like David Goggins, that does a lot, an exaggerated amount, who reaches the impossible of humanity, the impossible thing. And then there's also people like Joe Rogan, who has like three jobs and has three jobs. So he's podcasting, he's exercising, his family, and lots of children. And then he has the UFC thing. People we look up to, that they do incredible feats. He has like three daughters, a wife, who knows, right? Details don't matter much there, but pretty busy life. And then on the other level of that, you got the Elon Musk, who we hear about a lot, that he runs multiple companies where he has a lot of influence, that he has X now, about Twitter. He runs the Tesla company, and then he runs the rocket company, a little bit of a cousin company is the Warring company. That's already a lot. So how do people like this do it? Is It's quite uh tough to really understand, even when you ask them, as when he's in interviews and he's asked about his how he does this stuff. He's always like, yeah, I can't do that no more. Like he has a limitation. If Joe is like, well, you should do make phones and you should build airplanes, and then he thinks about it, he's like, no, that's enough. I'm up to no more, no more, no more. Um, he didn't say it like that, but then he comes up and starts running for, um, talking for the president. He starts going into parades and doing speeches and being out there, and gets into politics with the Trump, and then creates another category for the government, like the Doge or Doge, about cleaning the government. So he makes another group, and he's there for a while, and he does his thing, and then he leaves because his companies were hurting. So the question is, the companies were hurting because he wasn't there, or the companies were hurting um because he got into politics and people started burning his cars. I'm more of a fan of the latter. It's because people started burning his cars, and the politics just don't play well with business. Isn't that what they say? It's not good for business. Politics is not good for business. So that's another argument later down the road. But He has that, and he makes successful everything. It's a man that everything he touches turns to gold, like the Midas touch. So there's different levels. I'm putting myself at the bottom, but I'm not the bottom. There's people that have even less energy than me, and you know them. You know people that have your level of energy, and you know people that have less energy than you, and then you know people that have more. And I'm always surprised when I find people that have a whole lot more energy than me and a tremendous amount of energy beyond me. And I have an uncle that works at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and his schedule always changes literally every day or week and is never the same. And he takes care of a lot of things at home, and it's also a landlord, and he also takes care of his wife. And it's like, and he takes care of his aging father, and like a lot, right? A lot. And then there's my parents who have like a lot of things going on, and they're always moving and always making celebrations and being around family, and making improving the house, and they're always doing something. So I look at these people. I look at a lot of people, and I always compare myself, and I say, how do they have more energy than me? I get tired by 3 o'clock. I'm kidding, but like by 5, by 3, I'm already winding down. 4, 5. Oh, I'm done. When I get home, I just want to get home, and I just want to get home. And I want to sleep, and I can't, and I gotta do stuff. And maybe you could say that I have energy. I don't. I just have pain. I don't have energy. My wife looks at me and she says, like, gives me props for always being on the move and always doing things. And the one thing that keeps me moving when I think about it, it's not because I have energy. In fact, I don't have any energy. Um, just hold on here a minute. I'm just going to mess here with the phone settings a little bit. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, all done. Thank you. I just stopped the podcast. Um, so in her eyes, I have a lot of energy, but I don't really run on energy. I run on pain and stress. That's my energy. That's my fuel source. Stress. I'm stressed out of all the responsibilities I have to do, and I do them because it is my duty to do them. As you know, provider of the house and man of the house, I just gotta do them, and it hurts and it sucks, and that's how it's done. So I end up with headaches, and I end up with this and that. And I end up falling asleep. So I'm exploring this as I'm talking right here on this right here with you. I'm exploring it. I'm exploring this idea. And I'm realizing that my energy fuel source is stress, is responsibility, is procrastination. The energy that one gets when procrastinating, you got to turn in that assignment that you had a whole week to do, and then you wait till Friday to do it, and it's you got to turn it into the teacher on the computer at 12 p.m. or 11:59 p.m. Uh, and so you somehow, I don't know, you scrape 5 hours and you start writing your assignment that you had all damn week. And somehow you have some crazy energy and focus, and you do the damn thing, and then you send it, and you finish and you completed it. And I'm sure you had a week, but that level of energy. Hmm. See, I'm yawning a lot. That level of energy is tremendous. Where does that come from? Is my question. And could you call forth the energy at any moment you want or need? Is it under your control? to just call for it. Is energy a thing that you just get your body used to? Is energy a thing that you just make your body do, uh, even though it sucks? Does energy always have to feel like it sucks, or can you enjoy it? And I hope you're understanding me here, because this came to me because I was listening to this incredible guy. His name is Alan Watts, a philosopher that has passed away a while ago. And his belief was that life, or one should live life like water, like a dance, like a like a trip and not a destination. His idea is wonderful. He says that whenever you go against the current, you it pushes back. It feels difficult. It's hard. It takes more effort from your part to go that way. It just does. It just does. Um and to be like water is to go with the flow. Water doesn't have an ego. Water doesn't have a pushback. If you freeze water, it hardens. And then it goes, and if you leave it alone, it goes back to its liquid form. If you have water on a table and you smash the water, the water goes all over the place. And then it goes back to its normal form. If you evaporate it, eventually it becomes water. I mean, if you put it in a squiggly container with curves and ups and downs, that water will follow it and stay wherever it stays. And if you move around, it will move. And if you put a rock in it, it will go around the rock, no issue. Um, you get the idea. You get the idea. Be like water, something that we've always heard. But I like his point that when you go against the current, it just takes more effort than when you go with the flow. So here is my point. Is the people that seem like they do a lot, like they have a lot of energy, are they going against the current, or are they going with the flow? This is what I'm thinking. Are they going with the flow? Let's take our examples. Does the Joe Rogan goes with the flow? He has a podcast, he has the UFC, and then I don't know what else he does, but oh, he has like archery and goes hunting, and like he explains you 1,000 of his hobbies, right? But when you pay attention, his hobbies do sound like they go with the flow. So he does UFC because he enjoys it. He, in fact, offered to do it for free for like 10 shows or something, or he actually did it for free. I can't remember, but he loves it so much. He became so good at it because he actually just enjoyed it and learned on his own bare time. Cool. Cool. Um, and then what's the other one? He goes hunting and does this crazy things where he chops up the animal and eats it and whatever, right? But that's his thing. That's his hobby. He enjoys it. It's just that it is a tough hobby. That requires a lot of energy. Then there's the other one that he enjoys to work out, and he works out a lot. And he plays well with everything. It plays well with his UFC. It plays well with his hunting, and it's another thing he enjoys. So if I take that example, it is going with the flow, not against. Let's take, for example, an Elon Musk. He has all these random companies. To be honest, they're pretty random. If you think about it, they're extremely random. But does he go with his personality and what he enjoys? They do. So if we go just with a car, he wants an electric car and his idea is to move humanity forward. Remember that part? Then he gets into rockets, which rockets don't really have much to do with cars. Other than they move, but they're not even vehicles in a sense that cars are. Um, but he goes with his flow. He wants to push humanity forward and his crazy dream of going to Mars. And then he has a because of the space thing, he can send satellites, and because of that, he came up with his own Wi-Fi, or like his own satellite connection, internet connection. Why? That one I have no idea, but I think it just goes with the flow. Yeah, I think it just was the next natural thing for him, since it's kind of one of those things like, well, it's right there. Why not just hook it up? Let's say like the piping is there for your gas, and let's just open the gas and have a gas stove. I think it's something like that. Yeah, I know it's already there. Like everything is there. You got the rockets, you got the satellites. You can just click a button, boom, now you got it today. It's natural, I guess. Not like I'm an expert on anything of this, but it sounds like it's natural. Okay. And then what's the other thing that he does? Um, Twitter. It's something that he enjoyed and participated quite a lot on his free time already. And then he decided to buy it because he was needed to move humanity in towards a good direction. Cool, done. Then he gets into politics again as a passion of his, because he was feeling left behind and everybody else was being left behind. And just like Twitter, he wanted to improve it and do something better that he could see that could be done better. Once again, it goes with his personality, goes with the flow. So the more I'm exploring this idea of energy, it tells me that, I mean, the evidence is there that the people that have energy quite a lot are just going with the flow. They're not going against it. That's a little bit of sad news, to be honest, because it means that you just can't call it forth whatever you want, whenever you want. You gotta be doing something you enjoy and with a purpose. Man's search for meaning. Next example is David Goggins, who enjoys running, enjoys proving people wrong, enjoys doing better than everybody else, enjoys pushing the limit. And so it is natural for him to run crazy amount of miles. And then that his next thing is jumping out of airplanes to go put out fires because it is the hardest thing that he could find to do. Yeah. Maybe because he couldn't run so much anymore. Who exactly knows? I don't know. It seems crazy. It seems random, very random. But when you look deeper into his personality and into his goals, it makes sense. It goes with the flow, his flow. He likes risky things. He likes proving people wrong. He likes reaching the limit. So yeah, it makes sense. Do the hardest thing out there for the fun of it. Maybe you get it. I'm just trying to shorten this because I've given enough examples. Okay, and then there's me. So yeah. My goodness, am I falling asleep over here? Now there's me. Uh, to prove a point right now, I was extremely sleepy before making this car ride. I have an hour, 30 minutes to get home, and it fucking sucks so much. But I felt like I wanted to do a podcast. I wanted to make it serious and real. And here I am talking about a podcast. And even though I'm kind of falling asleep with all my yawning, I'm pretty awake. I can still make pretty good points. My brain is thinking. I'm driving well. No issues there whatsoever. And I'm not falling asleep at the wheel. I'm speaking quite a lot after a full day of work. So one could argue, they see from the outside that I have energy. This is not work. This does not feel like work. Speaking to this phone while driving is not a single gram of work for me. I love doing this. This is something that I would do even if I didn't have the podcast in front of me. I would talk to myself anyways. I tend to do it in my head. Sometimes people do that. You just have quiet rides. I just have quiet rides. I just there's absolute no music. You know that day was hard when you drive without music and get home and don't notice. Just thinking, just decompressing. That's when you know it was hard. And I've had those days. And I've had the days where I just speak to myself all day long, or I speak to God all day long from this ride all the way till I get home, where I pray for hours. Well, I'm not gonna exaggerate, for an hour. Um a lot of minutes. Let's go with a lot of minutes. Um it goes with the flow. So it is understanding for me in my case to have quote unquote a lot of energy when it comes to this podcasting. It just so happens that I merged it when I'm driving. Pretty cool. Very demure. So I guess I'm just living proof of my own comment right here. Well, my next question is, if going with the flow generates energy, what does going against the flow do or feels like? Well, a lot of people have experience with that, quite tremendous experience. Everybody has done things that they don't like doing, that does not match your personality, where you don't fit, and you feel it is draining. It is very, very draining, extremely draining. We all have experience with those, and I have experience with those even in my life right now. It's just, I guess that's how it feels. And one or two, it's fine, it's normal, it's part of life, it's your responsibility as a human being in this world. There's nothing wrong. You can't always live on the flow. Maybe somebody wants to prove me wrong, go ahead, and more power to you, incredible what you do. But it does feel to me like there's a level of adulting that we got. That's it. The Lord or the Bible said that we gotta find joy in our toil, in our work, in our struggle. Just find the joy in it. It's not going away anywhere. And so, yeah, sometimes we'll do things that are going against the flow of your personality. But that wasn't my point. I drifted a little. My point was, what if you are going against the flow completely? Completely. Not a single thing is working out for you, and everything is taking too much effort. What does that feel like? Probably feels like nothing is working for you. It feels like you're the unluckiest person on earth. It feels like everything you do takes 10 times the energy that anybody else does. It feels like you don't fit in, you don't belong. Uh, it feels probably like you don't want to admit it, that it's just not for you. And you push back because you really want to prove somebody in your life wrong, that you could do it. Or you just don't want to accept that you can't. Maybe that's how it feels. See, what's going on right now is I just had this idea that I was just gonna talk, and I felt a calling to just open the microphone and speak, and I felt the connection to the Lord or to a higher being. But I felt the connection that whatever I would say would speak out truths, and this is the truth that is coming out right now. You go against the flow completely, it's going to be feeling like you don't belong, or it's just not. For example, if you were to sell stuff, but you're not a salesperson, you don't like selling, you don't enjoy selling, you don't even believe in the product you're selling. Or let's say that you are a seller. Let's say you have the capacity and like, you're incredible salesman, you have charisma, all that. But the product you're selling sucks and you don't even believe in it. It's gonna come out of your mouth. However you speak to people or talk or carry yourself, it's going to be a drag. If you, for example, have to sell something that to you is so silly, whatever it is, it's going to feel like you're wasting your time. And I think that is how it feels when you go against the current. It feels like you're wasting your time. Not only is it taking more effort, more time, more thinking, uh, you look around and everybody's just getting things done left and right. And everything they touch turns to gold, and everything you touch turns to coal. I think that would be going against the current. You're going against the current. You're going against the flow of your life. And I wish that there was, like, I was somewhat wrong in this case, although it does feel pretty accurate, very accurate. But here's my next dilemma, or dilemma, malemma. Are we slaves to life fate, or do we choose our own fate? If we must go with the flow, why must I do that? Oh, shit. All right, there we go. There we go. I didn't see that. God damn, there's a person walking at night with freaking. That's probably a killer. He's wearing camo. I almost brought. Anyways, um. So what was the thing? What was the thing? Oh yeah. Can we just escape fate instead? Like, are we in the search and pursuit of energy and going with the flow? Do you also enslave yourself with fate? Meaning that you cannot change your path or anything about you because it's going against the flow. Well, I'm not sure about that argument. I think maybe you can choose your path. It's just going to be harder. It's just going to be a hard path and a hard road. But is it wrong? Celestially wrong? I don't know. Good question. Let's say David Goggins didn't want to. It's a trick. David Goggins wanted to prove people wrong about what he could do, right? Because it wasn't his path to be who he became. So he worked extra hard and achieved it. And here I am saying that that was his flow and his destiny and his fate. Was it really? Was that really his fate? Or was it just much easier to stay in the sofa and eat and not have a job or do a job that he didn't enjoy? See, that's a good point. Or was his destiny to become what he did? Um, it's tricky. It's tricky. I'm thinking too hard about it because there is a very cool question that it's what you call that? It's one of those circles that there it's a trap. For example, there is a monk who tells you that there is a secret to happiness. And the secret to happiness is to not want happiness. So what you do as an apprentice is you go, all right, I want to be happy, so I will convince myself that I don't want to be happy. And therefore, if I do it well enough, I will become happy. See, that is the struggle because the moment that you are trying to be happy, the moment that you're trying to not be happy, you're actually trying to be happy. So you're in this weird circle where it just does not match. What's going on with this road? This road is getting pretty weird right now. But you get my point. It's a pretty weird point right here. What the hell is this road? Oh, so weird. Welcome to Austin. Welcome to Austin. I hope you're following me and you're dreaming and everything about your life right now. It's the same idea of don't think of a pink elephant And the more you try not to think of a pink elephant, you're thinking of one. If you if you want to be happy, and the secret to happiness is not wanting to be happy, so then you stop wanting to be happy so you can be happy. You're still wanting to be happy. So how do you actually do it? Well, you have to forget. You have to forget you want it. Or is it really? Are you still chasing it? Or you just have to learn the fact that you can't have happiness. It's pretty weird. It's pretty weird, and I don't have the answer. And I'm gonna act like I do have the answer to that question. It's a pretty fun question, but it's a weird one. Um, very weird. So it follows that the same question is um I say a lot of but I'm doing a lot of thinking and I just don't want to leave space. I could leave space. See, I'm gonna leave space, but I don't have nothing to say. Chinga. So you get me. You get me. I'm not even gonna pursue that idea because it just already left my head. Just completely flew away when I started merging into this weird ass road. Merging lanes. Who came up with that idea? They just distract me. So it's fate, a thing. Do you have to follow it? Is going with the flow part of fate? If you don't go with the flow, are you challenging fate? For example, if I'm supposed to be gay, but I don't want to be gay, and I never become gay because I'm like never doing it, am I going against the flow? Let's talk, dudes. Come on. Come on. Yeah, it's so easy to say, whoa, your fate is to be the hardest man on earth. And my fate was not to be the hardest. I mean, you know what I mean, right? But what if, what if your fate is to some comic and you're like, I don't want that fate. I don't want that. I guess that's with the flow, but I don't want that. So you gotta go back into the whatever against the current, huh? That's tricky. That's what I'm trying to say. But I don't know why I got into this thing. Flow, no flow, whatever. I was talking about energy, and then I went into this weird part. And this is why I say just have a life. You know, no, don't overthinking. Don't overthink it. But I'm the one talking. All right, my podcast. Thank you very much. To continue, we have a lot of energy. If we follow the flow, we don't have a lot of energy. If we don't follow the flow, that's what I came up with, I guess. I'm not very happy with that result, and I'll do some testing. I wish there was more to it. And well, actually, there is more to it, and I'll touch upon it. Um, but there's a level of energy that is like spiritual, which is the second wind, the magical energy when your body is destroyed and you still keep going. There is that one. Then there is the energy, the actual physiological. Take your vitamins, sleep well, don't snore, breathe properly. Your nose is clogged. You have allergies, take them out. You're missing vitamin D. You're missing this. You have parasites. Take ivermectin, whatever. There's that also, and that's real, very real. So let's talk about that side. Make sure you're not snoring because that means you're not breathing when you're sleeping. And if you're not oxygenating your body. And if your body doesn't have oxygen, it's not going to repair itself very well. Think about it like a fire. If the fire, you can't keep a fire alive by just giving it like one coal at a time, and you'll probably keep it on the red. But that's not going to be much of a flame. But if you keep feeding it some good big chunks of firewood, that fire is going to keep going and burning and providing heat. If you just give it little twigs and a coal here and there just to keep it warm, it's going to just stay warm. That's what I mean with sleep and oxygen. Then there are vitamins. Your body does, miss a lot of vitamins. it needs it. I'm not a scientist, but I know that taking multivitamins has helped me a lot. Taking the other one that is like a powder has helped me tremendously. I don't remember what it's called, but it'll come to my head. There, exercise is another one people say often. You gotta exercise very much. The more you push your body, the more it learns to create energy. It's used to it and it expects it because it did a lot of work yesterday. Then tomorrow, the body already prepared and it's expecting more work tomorrow. So, the same way you build a muscle in an arm like a bicep, you can also build uh, the production of energy in your body. It just remembers to produce more. And then there is muscle memory. That is a very key part of somebody who has a lot more energy than somebody else. The more your neurons fire, they wire, the easier it gets to do it again. That's why bad habits stay and good habits are hard to make when you just want to make a change and go against the current. Perhaps going against the current is exactly that. You're just teaching your neurons and your body to be different. And then eventually becomes like a flower. Boom. I like that. I don't like to be tethered to fate. I don't like that. I mean, it's great if fate plays with my interests, but I would love if my interests created my fate more than anything. It's a fun life if it works like that. That means that I can, as your teacher would say, become anything you want in life. So there's the physiological part. Take your vitamins, do your energy, and push your body to the limits the same way you would push it at the gym. We do push our body in other limits, and we also see the results. There's people that eat a lot, me included, and it literally pushes the limits of my stomach and skin. There's people that push other limits, like the limits of their lungs on how much smoke they can inhale. And there's people that push the limits of their finger when they're scrolling on TikTok and how much their eyes and brain can stay there. Or their arms in the bed, in the elbow, and their shoulder just stay in that position for 8 hours, 4 hours. And they push it. The more you watch TikTok, the more you can watch the next day. We are slaves to our habits. The mind is like a garden. And the more whatever we give it, it will grow. If we give our minds poison ivy, it will grow poison ivy. And if we give it corn, it'll do corn. Um, I'm not a fan of repeating myself, but I like emphasizing. And I hear a lot of people in podcasts do that. They repeat themselves quite a lot. The only person that don't is Andrew Tate, but he does at least repeat his idea, not his words. It's pretty cool when you don't repeat yourself. I'm just going to say that's an incredible skill. It's about trusting people that they are listening to you. I think that's what it goes to. And if you don't have that trust and you're repeating yourself all the time, I'm really going into tangents. But all in all, I'm enjoying this podcast. I know that it's being a long podcast, almost 40 minutes by now. I still have a good 12 minutes to go. My God. Oh my God. But, and I didn't start this podcast as soon as I was driving. I started somewhere along the way. But it's still fun. It's just part of my routine. It's what I do. I enjoy it. And so I'm pursuing the understanding of energy in the body because I am someone right now in this very moment that I'm tired of being tired. I've been tired for a long time in my life. Sleepy all the time. I just don't have it in me to do a lot of things. A lot of things I say no to because I'm tired. I don't want to deal with it. I want to rest. When I rest, I never properly rest because there's other things that I gotta do that I don't want to do, but I do. And going with the flow is not like a kid that just does whatever he wants and he eats candy all day long and burgers and whatever he pleases. That's an immature. There's a level of immaturity there, like an immature person. If you're rich, it's kind of passable, but if you're poor, is not. Oh my, it's so freaking dark in here. Does everybody have like the high beams or something? It's so freaking dark. I'm just gonna have to high beam this shit. It's too much. Everybody here has the high beams. I'm just gonna have to have high beams. It's too damn dark. And anyways, it's just we're all facing each other. And I understand that it's not good to have high beams on people, but everybody is high beaming me. And it's pissing me off because I bet they see very well, but I'm not. Just because I'm trying to be conscientious of the people and mindful and demure. Why are they like that? I don't know. I can't see nothing, so I'm just gonna keep my high beams on. Sorry, people, I tried, but y'all keep your high beams on. I need mine. I don't have. Yeah, I'm playing with these lights. They're barely lighting anything. It's just my high beams are pretty well run. Cool. Um. Yeah, so I'm in the pursuit of energy. I'm trying things. I'm trying a CPAP machine to not snore and breathe at night. I'm trying an inhaler to breathe for my beautiful lungs. I'm trying um vitamins, supplements of all kinds, exercise. What I'm trying right now with this podcast is I'm just trying to make my way home enjoyable. I want to make it enjoyable. It's an hour, sometimes more than an hour, and I just want to figure out a way to make it work for me. You know, I could do just like now. Podcast is an incredible idea. I'm talking to friends. Uh, anything really, anything. Thank you for listening to me, by the way. If you don't, thank you for at least trying. I like give credits for at least trying. I'm generous like that. Okay, I'm really generous. So yeah, I got this thing going on, and I think it's working out. I think I got a pretty good point there. It was a little wonky, not weird, a little weird. I'm not entirely sure of certain things. Well, let me just turn right here. All of you are going straight, not me. See, I'm not following that flow of traffic. I have to get my own way. I'm going right. Hell yeah, I'm going right. And you know you're going the right way when you start finding enemies or something. Whatever. 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 And we're singing along. Okay, mom was home. Mom was making it. So what I'm going to do different, and this is my challenge. I am going to try to go with the flow of my body. Um, I guess whatever that is. I guess I'm just gonna try to find what that flow means. It's weird. It's weird. Really challenge to find the flow. Pretty weird, but I'll give my best shot, and I'll do my best to keep eating healthy and eating my vitamins and trying to exercise and trying to do all these fancy things. And I'll report back to see if it's all working. Oh, there you go. And now you guys are not the only ones with the damn high beams. No. I got my high beams too. Yeah. Yeah. Because I hear stories about cops stopping people because they have their high beams on the opposite direction. It's like you're not supposed to. You're supposed to like turn it off and turn it off. But man, right now it's cloudy, fully cloudy, pitch black, and there's absolutely no moon. It's worse than night. It's worse than the morning time. Like when I live the house, it's much brighter than whatever this is. This is weird. Oh. Oh, so here's my next question and challenge. Are we as people and humans, and this is our biggest challenge for literally everybody, are we able to just have extra energy whenever we want? Focus whenever we want? Well, the person with ADHD will tell you no. The person with sleep apnea will tell you no. Can we become, I guess, good at everything that we want to get good at and practice and carve out time during the week for everything that you want to do? Well, the person with 1,000 hobbies will say no. Man, there's not much. You just gotta pick and choose. So is my issue an issue of I got too much on my plate, or I gotta let things go to make room in my plate, which is literally the same thing I said, different words. Uh, or is it actually just health, energy, and health? Am I using my head a little too much and not my body enough? My head is doing all the workout, but my body, it is dying. Because that could be also a thing. You gotta watch out for that. Because I do have a job that I use my brain a lot and my body not so much. Barely. So that's another thing for me to look at. Um, this is what I do. This is what I do with my free time. You may expect a longer podcast. I have a longer drive home. And something else that I would like to do is to have a better perspective in life, more positive, because I've been way too negative for way too long, way too cynical. And I will blame the internet for that. And I will blame the people out in the world because they were freaking funny. But the internet is a pretty dark place, pretty dark. And I just don't want to see it that way anymore. There's too much in the internet. Negative news this, negative news that. Every application wants like 10 hours out of your day. Everybody is just fighting for your day. And you know what I'm saying? If they think my day and my hours are so important, then I believe them. They are important. I'm going to keep them all for myself. They're not going to get a single one. They're all mine. I'm important. And I'm deleting Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and I have for a while. And then keeping it all for myself. All my hours just for myself. I'm going to be my little selfish little dragon over here. Just keeping all my hours just for me. And why do I say this in my podcast, Into the Void? Because I can. Because I can, because this is America. And I'm free to do a show. And the nicer answer is because of accountability. I just wanna put it out there. Just like good energy, I just wanna put it out there. Putting good energy out there. Like the secret. You wanna manifest something nice. And if I say, you know, I'm manifesting that, it's not because of hocus pocus. But there's more that goes into it. Like the brain right now is probably rewiring to think differently. I'm doing something that actually has an impact. Like I'm not just talking to myself, I'm also just recording this and it's staying there forever. Or 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 for as long as I pay for this podcast. Because as soon as I stop paying for it, money goes bye bye. All these videos are gonna start getting deleted. That's all right. So everybody who's like, but the internet, everything stays forever. Not really. If YouTube were to like uh get deleted and OnlyFans, all your stuff would go away. And all those websites, if the internet would just like to, you know, shut down, Twitter shuts down and Facebook and this and that, you lose a big chunk. Some of it will still be copied and pasted in some other website, but a lot of it will be gone forever. A lot of old videos in YouTube will be gone forever. That's some of those videos are never gonna get posted in any other website. Just like Flash games, a lot of those Flash games are gone. A lot of them are. Thank you very much for listening to my podcast. I appreciate your time. I enjoyed it very much, and I try, or actually, I in fact do my best to always enjoy doing this podcast. My belief is if I enjoy doing this podcast, someone out there will enjoy listening to it. Thank you very much and have a wonderful rest of your day.